What is up, everyone? Atomic Patriot here with a new video. Today, we are talking about Isom 2 campaign release date. I am actually really excited for this. I loved Isom 1, you guys know that. But I cannot wait to see what covers there are, the variant covers. I cannot wait to see what shirts, posters, hats, and etc. I can't wait. And I'm going to be losing a lot of money. But it's worth it because I support the Rippaverse. I support Eric July, whether I agree with him on everything politically or not. Because I can put politics aside and, support people who actually bring value to things, to Indian industry. I wanted to talk about all the detractors. I've seen a lot of people obsessing over this, saying some interesting things. Interesting, I mean people who are desperate to actually to find anything they can to destroy the Rippaverse or devalue or demean Eric July. They're just scared. They're scared that Marvel and DC has a competitor. And now, right now, people can say, you can argue that Eric July is not a competitor. But at the rate his success is, he can be a competitor in 5 to 10 years. And at the rate Marvel and DC is falling, less. We're going to talk about this after we watch the video. Let's get into this.
So much discussion, so much hype, so much controversy. It's safe to say that Isom 1 was a success. With over 60,000 books sold and wonderful reviews from our great customers, I'm just glad you all were satisfied with your purchase. So many people try to ignore this as if it wasn't one of, if not the biggest story in independent comics. But whether or not they acknowledge this, it's still undeniable. The company is much bigger than what it was when we first started. We now have a team full of absolute rock stars, and this couldn't be done without them. But of course, everybody wants to know about the follow-up. Some say we were just lucky. It's a one-hit wonder. Then there's others that think we can actually do even greater numbers. So everybody from our supporters to the not so much will be watching this campaign like hawks. Look, we're not expecting to make $3.7 million every campaign. That is an unrealistic expectation. But if we make just even a sixth of that, it's still a huge success. And we'll be able to reinvest. What truly matters is that those of you that purchase the product are happy with it. We have an entire universe to build for you, and I'm just thankful for this fandom. Your passion is inspiring. Our customer base ranged from old school comic book lifers to others that made Isom #1 their first comic book purchase ever. And now Isom 2 is on the horizon. And I have a feeling it's gonna get you all talking again.
Yep. I wanted to point out something. People were criticizing this announcement video, saying with the way it was shot, how it's not production quality. Even if that's the case, who the hell cares? The only people who are going to criticize that are people who are in production and film production and all that. The average customer is like, oh, cool. My favorite company is releasing a new product. Let's look into it. I just, these people are desperate. Like, they're desperate to use anything they can to try to devalue the success of the Rippaverse. And yes, I'm one of the people who thinks Isom 2 will be more successful than Isom 1, just based on the constant hype of every little bit of news. Every little bit of news. And the Rippaverse is just, it grows. And whether or not it is, I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to say, oh, well, it shows that the Rippaverse is failing because the second book is not going to be as successful. And of course, the detractors are going to use anything they can. Like, if it makes $10 less than the previous campaign, they'll be like, look, it made less money than the first campaign. It must be a failure, so you are a failure, Eric July. And they're going to say this random crap. They're going to be spouting off random stuff. They are desperate. And there are a few who have some good criticisms, and I respect them because they aren't a-holes. They aren't desperate to make anything stick. They are literally throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks, and it shows how obsessed and desperate they are because they know how successful the Rippaverse is. I mean, any comic book making $3.7 million, close to $4 million on their very first comic book, that should be comic news for months. But these main access media nut jobs like did not cover it. I mean, they talked about it behind the scenes. It was clear they did. I mean, their Twitter posts, their messages and all that, they were desperate. Anyway, that is all for the day. Have a good night. See y'all in the next video.